It's time for this week's episode of Brandon Sports Talk, featuring in-depth interviews from those who are trending in the world of athletics. And now, here's the host of Brandon Sports Talk, Brandon Pate.
Welcome back to Brandon Sports Talk. In today's episode, I have the privilege to interview the Wilmington College head cheerleading coach, Jaxzmine McGuire. How are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing wonderful. Can you talk about how you knew that you wanted to get into the sport of coaching cheerleading?
Well, I knew I eventually wanted to coach because I've been cheering since about fourth grade. Before that, I did gymnastics. I cheered in middle school, high school, and at Wilmington College. So I knew eventually I would want to get back around to teaching athletes the same thing I've loved for my entire life.
Of course, what was that like cheerleading at Wilmington College?
It was great. I think it really made my college career. It was the highlight, it was the high point. It's what I looked forward to doing. Not only did we cheer for men's basketball, men's football, but we competed. So the team was like my second family. We spent a lot of time together.
Of course, what was that like competing in those competitions as a cheerleader for Wilmington College?
Oh my goodness, it was so nerve-wracking. We were the first team to compete. So although we didn't have a lot on our shoulders, it was a lot to just try to do when nobody had done it before us.
Of course, as you talked about that, what was that like being the first initial team for Wilmington College?
So I guess it felt good that our coach believed we were good enough to actually compete. I feel like it was a great stepping stone in a program, something for future programs to build on.
Of course, coming out of college, what was it like getting into coaching and coaching for the Ohio State Academy?
So teaching tumbling at OSA was amazing. I'm still there in a managerial role, but actually instructing the kids on how to tumble, it there's no other way to describe it. It's a passion of mine, and being able to teach kids and watch them grow, and having kids who I started in middle school who are now graduating high school. It warms my heart to see those kids continue to grow and become better athletes.
How's it like, obviously, coaching tumbling?
Whew, coaching tumbling it's rough. To say definitely fun. It is definitely rewarding, but it's difficult. It's tumbling is just like learning to ride your bike or just like learning your ABCs. You have to go in orders and then follow your steps. And a lot of kids don't like order and the follow directions and steps. So once they figure out, okay, I have to go A, B, C, D, and then they put all their skills together, it's amazing.
How was your experience like coaching high school cheerleading and then making that jump to the college level?
Um, High school cheerleading was good for me. I learned how to speak to parents, and I learned how to speak to children. I learned my coaching style coaching high school, and I also learned how to run a program. So when I transitioned over to college, I just put all of that into one. Even though I'm coaching adults, a lot of them, this is their first time out on their own. So I get to help them with that transition. And I also get to run the program exactly the way I want to.
Of course, how was that like coming back to your alma mater of Wilmington College to become the cheerleading coach?
It's actually great. Um, I had been asked to come back before, but I was coaching at the high school and I really liked it at that time. And when I was asked to come back this time, I was like, this is it. This is where I'm meant to be. I feel at home. I feel comfortable. There's still a lot of professors and coaches that were there when I was there. So it's like getting to see things from the other side, and I respect it a lot more. And I love it.
Of course, being an alma mater of the school and a previous cheerleader, what has that helped you in becoming the head coach for Wilmington College?
Oh, it's helped me a lot because not only do I understand what my athletes are going through, but I understand what they're going to go through after they graduate. It really helps shape my program. Because although we are a collegiate sport, we still want to have fun. We still want to compete, and we still want to be the best people we are, but it's also helping these kids grow into adults, helping them figure themselves out, helping them realize that they can multitask, they can go to class, and they can cheer, and they can work, and it can all happen. And it's just really being able to say, hey, I did this in college, I didn't do this, you should do this, you shouldn't do that. It's really nice to be able to come back and help.
Of course, how is it like obviously seeing those future Quackers become cheerleaders and go on and to become alumni of the school just like you did?
So since Wilmington is such a small program, becoming an alumni is really a big thing for us Quakers, because so many of us will come back. So many of us will have siblings and cousins and nieces and nephews. And the amount of people that I see at games that I went to school with who are now there either working on the staff or come back to see younger siblings, it's amazing. It's really helpful to be able to come to a game and see your professors, to see your favorite staff member, and to be able to talk to them. And it's not it's a small school. So to come back and become an alumni, you're still a part of this Quaker family. So it's great.
Well, of course, during your short time, what are some of your accomplishments as a head cheerleading coach?
So when I received my team last year, and it was already put together, and I was thrown into coaching, I had to break them down all the way back down to the beginning and build them up. And just in this last year, we have already gone from, if you say 0 out of 10, we've gone from 0 to a 6 or a 7. And we're on our way to become the best program we can be.
Of course, can you talk about the culture that you've started to build for the cheerleading program?
Yes. For me, my culture is really built on mental health and growing and maturing. Nowadays, mental health is such a huge thing. And a lot of our kids, this is their first time out of their house, their first time doing things alone. And it's overwhelming, and they're anxious, and they don't know how to handle things, and they don't know how to multitask. So I'm really big on not mama bearing these kids, but checking in. If somebody's kind of off to the side saying, hey, are you okay? Or if I know you missed practice, I check in and see if you missed class. So it's really just being that second mother figure to these kids to help them through this college transition. So when they graduate, they'll be fully functioning adults ready to enter the world.
Of course, what does a typical game day look like for a cheerleading and a cheerleading coach?
Typical game day, we meet up about 2 hours before the game starts. We get our little WC tattoos, put them on our face. We grab our pom-poms and our signs and our flags and our banners, and we go and stretch and we warm up, and we run through all the material we're going to do that day, make any last minute tweaks or changes, head to the field and get prepared to have the boys run out.
Of course, what does a competition day look like in cheerleading?
So, since I've been coaching, we haven't competed yet, but when I coached at Beaver Creek High School, comp day was getting up early. My girls slicking back their hair, putting on a ponytail, making sure everybody has something to eat, getting to the competition, finding our zone, getting warmed up, focusing on us, taking it nice and easy. We hit the mat, leaving it all there, knowing that we did our absolute best, and wait for the results.
What does the recruitment process look like for those prospective student athletes looking to become cheerleaders?
It's not a huge recruitment process, but I am looking for athletes that are very positive, who absolutely love to cheer. You know, it's their life. It's something that they want to keep doing until they graduate. So I'm really just looking for people who are happy and fun loving and who love to cheer and are really ready to do some hard work to make us the best we can be.
Of course, how is it like, obviously, now as a head coach, seeing them try out and become cheerleaders for Quaker?
It's interesting. It's interesting to see how much the sport has evolved. How when I originally started cheerleading, there was, some basic stunts and the only couple girls who tumbled. And now we're at a point where they want all the girls to tumble and they want to throw the girls as high as possible in the air. And it's just even in the last 10 years, they have upped the difficulty. And cheerleading is really now a spectator sport. It's just as interesting as football or basketball or going to watch a swim meet.
Of course, how is it like, as an alumni and a head coach, seeing them get to put on that jersey that you got to put on?
It makes my heart happy that there are still athletes who want to come out and who want to cheer. We are a Division III school. My kids don't get scholarships. Most of them have to work to get through school, and they still love to cheer and they find time to cheer. So it's great watching them follow in my footsteps.
Of course, what are some of your future plans as the head cheerleading coach?
I would definitely like to get the team back into competing. There is a competition called Stunt that is based on a clean cheerleading routine. We still want to throw them high and flip them around, but we wanted to make it look safe and easy and carefree. So hopefully we can get there.
Of course, during a cheerleading competition day, is it an all-day event? And if it is, how do you keep them motivated throughout the whole entire day?
Oh yes, it is an all-day event. 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. some days. We play a lot. We joke a lot. We go watch the dancers compete, or we watch the younger kids compete. When it comes down to our division, I take my girls out of the gym and we talk and we stretch and we walk through and get focused. So long day. Parents bring snacks and drinks and stuff for the girls after they compete, and then we just hang out. We're one big family.
Of course, how is that like, obviously getting to travel and seeing other teams besides the teams that are in your conference?
Oh, it's great seeing what other teams come up with, even other states. Cheerleading is not like football or basketball where it's generally the same plays. Cheerleading it goes as far as one's imagination can take it. So going to nationals in Florida and watching the other teams' routines is jaw dropping, because you're like, oh, I didn't even think to do that. So it's really amazing.
What was that experience like, obviously taking them to Florida to the nationals?
So taking my high school girls from Beaver Creek to nationals was an experience. I believe there was over 50,000 athletes for a 4-day time span. And after a couple years, my girls finally said, you know what, this is just another competition. So first couple years was really nerve-wracking, didn't know what to expect, didn't know what was happening. But by the end of my coaching career there, it was second nature going to nationals. So yeah.
Of course, what are some of your future plans with the Wilmington cheerleading team?
So going to have them do this, compete in stunt. I would like to grow the program. I would like to be able to have 30 athletes on the sidelines for football, and then have full 15, 16 athlete teams for each basketball for women and men's basketball games.
Of course, what does a typical winter sport going for the basketball look like versus a football game?
So I will say that during football games, the girls are more not necessarily reserved, but there's so many football players, and then there's only a handful of girls. And so we're kind of divided. Whereas in basketball, we're more of a family. The guys and the girls know each other on a personal level. We're in the gym together. We spend more time together. So it's just more intimate when it comes down to basketball season.
Of course, what advice would you give those high school athletes looking to become college cheerleaders?
My high school athletes, not only do I want you guys to be solid with your skills. I want you to work on your multitasking skills. I want you to work on your mental health. I want you to come to college healthy and happy and ready to take on this new adventure.
What advice would you give those college cheerleaders looking to compete in college?
My college cheerleaders looking to compete. Just know that this is more fun than it is work. This is a college sport. Generally, cheerleaders do not graduate and become professional cheerleaders. So although we're going to work hard, I want this to be fun. I want you to make your best memories in your last 4 years of cheering.
Of course, for those college cheerleaders that are looking to become professionals and work in the NFL and NBA, what advice would you give them?
I would tell them that although that is fun, go ahead and focus on yourself, get your career started, get settled. And if you just happen to be in a state that has professional cheerleaders, look into it, do it. That is a great hobby. That is a great way to have fun and still enjoy what you love.
What advice would you give those college athletes such as yourself that was at their alma mater and became a coach for their alma mater?
I would say don't be complacent. You, of course, want to keep those great game day chants and cheers, but build on your program. Take it a step further. You knew what you can do and you know you can push it to.
What advice would you have head coaches looking to run a cheerleading program on the college level?
Remember that although they are adults, they're still kids. Remember that they do need to accept more responsibility, but also remember this is their first time accepting responsibility. So, give and take.
That's great advice. Where can my listeners find the Wilmington College cheerleading program at on social media along with you?
So, you can find us at Quaker_cheer on Instagram, and you can also find our recruitment information on Wilmington Athletics. So go to wilmington.edu, click athletics, and we're there under sports, co-ed sports.
Of course, where can my listeners find you at on social media?
You can find us on Instagram, and we also have a Facebook.
Thank you again, Coach Jaxzmine McGuire, for your interview, and best of luck in your future with the Wilmington Quakers cheerleading program.
Thank you.
You can find Brandon Sports Talk on Facebook at Brandon Sports Talk, Instagram at Brandon Sports Talk, Twitter at Talk_Brandon, and you can find me on YouTube at Brandon Sports Talk. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you again, Coach Jaxzmine, for your interview, and best of luck in your future.
Thank you.
You've been watching Brandon Sports Talk. Please feel free to like, share, and subscribe to Brandon Sports Talk on social media and on YouTube.